What's up, 7th grade? This is lesson 54. Objective for today is how do you solve rate word problems? And let me give you an example of a rate word problem here in example 1. It says, if Mr. Gomez drives his car at an average speed of 55 miles per hour, how far will he drive in 3 hours? Now there's two different ways to solve this. The book illustrates here with solving a proportion, which is kind of the same thing that we did in lesson 53. Is solving that proportion. However, I'm going to show you another way as well, an alternate way to do that, and you can pick either one. They both work just beautifully. They're actually kind of the same thing, just formatted a little bit different way. So you can pick and choose, doesn't matter, and solve that. So first of all, what we want to look at on this is what the answer to our question is. That's kind of the first thing. When we're talking about word problems, I need to know what it is I'm looking for. And we notice here it says, how far will he drive? So my answer is going to be a distance, some distance that he has driven after he's driven for 3 hours. So let's go ahead and see if we can fill in this table here on the left. So the rate they gave us is 55 miles per 1 hour, per hour. So this is going to be 55 miles in 1 hour. And then in actual reality, we're looking for that distance, right? So we're looking for this number. How far did he actually go in miles? And it tells us that he went for those 3 hours. So we can set up this proportion. We can say 55 over 1 is going to equal to, I'll call that x over 3. So to solve this, we'll use the butterfly method or cross multiplication. 1 times x gives me x is equal to 3 times 55, which is going to be 165. Now we don't just want to say 165 because our answer to a word problem is going to have words in it. So we're going to say about 165 miles. Okay, now the alternate way is to solve this using a simple little formula that says rate times time is equal to the distance. Or really, notice this rate is going to have two things, right? Miles over hours. As long as this time matches this down here, then you can just multiply them and it'll give you the distance. So notice here we said 55 miles per 1 hour. I'm going to multiply that by the time, which is 3 hours. Notice this is like over 1. So my hours units reduce with each other. I end up with 55 miles times 3. Sorry, so this is going to equal to the distance, which is what we're looking for, right? How far did he drive, the distance? So left-hand side is going to be 55 miles times 3, which is going to be 165 miles, is equal to the distance. So again, I can say about 165 miles. Let's do one more like this, and it's a little bit different, but still similar. We're just looking for a different part of this. It says, Hannah works for 8 hours at a sporting goods store and earns a total of $68. So if we're going to use a proportion method, we need to fill that in. Let's see, so actual hours she works is 8. The amount of money she earns is 68. So two parts here. It says, what is her hourly rate? So we're looking for the rate. Now remember, a rate is when that unit is just simply 1. So 1 hour. So we're looking for her rate, or how much money she earns in just 1 hour. So I'm going to call this x over 1. It's going to equal to 68 over 8. Cross multiply or butterfly method, that's going to give me 8x. It's going to equal to 1 times 68, which is 68. Divide both sides by 8. Those become 1, and I get x is equal to 8.5. I just plugged that in a calculator to find that answer. So again, I'm going to use words to answer this. So I'm going to say 850 per hour. So this is the answer to part A. Part B says, use her hourly rate of pay to find how much she will earn if she works for 30 hours. So this is how much she gets paid for 1 hour. How much we get paid for 30 hours? I'm just going to say that 8.50 times 30, and I get $255. The alternate way we could do that is we know the rate times the time equals the pay. Well, I don't have the rate. That's actually what I'm looking for, right, is the rate. So times the time, in this case, is the 8 hours, is equal to the pay, which is $68. So the rate, if I divide both sides by the 8 hours, the rate is going to equal to $68 divided by 8 hours, which gives us that 8.5. So this is going to be $8.5 per 1 hour. So it's going to be, the answer to A here is $8.50 per hour. And then kind of same idea as we did over here, we're going to say that $8.50 times the 30 is going to give us the 255 for part B. If you haven't seen it already, your homework is on page 382. You can do the practice set, all the 54s, all the 53s, and 11 more of your choice.